What's good, everyone? It's MJO23Dan back with another video. Today's video, I'm doing a comparison between the original 1993 Air Jordan 8 playoff and your 2023 retro of the Air Jordan 8 playoff. So if you're interested, come check this out. Alright, so where have I been? I've been around. If you guys follow me on social media, I'm primarily posting on Instagram, so you guys can check out my socials. Instagram, Twitter, or it's now called X since the last time we've seen each other, and Facebook. So, and then occasionally here on YouTube, I guess. But I wanted to create a video to do this comparison because the Air Jordan 3 white reimagined was something that was pretty interesting, and people were wanting information about that and to see the differences and whatnot. So I wanted to bring the comparison between the original and the retro. So just to go over briefly, back in 1993, the playoffs were released probably around April of 1993, and this is the last shoe that Jordan wore on court before he retired for the first time. You see the cross straps there. It's kind of familiar to the Nike Air Raid, which Tinker Hatfield also designed. And this one has, you know, pretty much a nubuck upper with synthetic Durabuck in the back, kind of mimicking what the Air Jordan 6 was. The Air Jordan 8 is predominantly a shoe that Tinker Hatfield was messing with the idea of kind of making Jordan a status, you know, pretty much bigger than what Nike was, or maybe even compete with each other, but still within the Nike umbrella. It would gauge people to want to buy more Jordans, which pretty much meant more money for the brand. So it's like a win-win situation because Jordan is under the Nike umbrella. So the shoe pretty much screams 90s, as you can see with the prints all behind the tongue, within the lining and such. And this guy right here, the red pull strap, the first time it's come back on the retro. Wow, 30 years in the making, right? There you go. But we'll go over this in a bit. Just wanted you guys to get a good view of what the original used to be. This is in dead stock condition. As you guys know, I pretty much encased like the shoe in plastic, but I cut out the midsole portion just to preserve the midsole here, and it's doing a pretty good job at it. I kind of wanted to remove the top because I still wanted to, you know, feel the materials and appreciate the shoe as a display piece, which is pretty much all it is now. Let me go ahead and bring out the retro here so you guys can see. So here's the retro. I got these on the exclusive access, which was soon after everyone got a shock drop of the shoe. And exclusive access pretty much on Nike sneakers or Nike, you know, the night before you pretty much check a link for the shoes, and if the date turns to the date that is releasing for the next day, you pretty much have exclusive access. So that's how you pretty much know. So September 21st was when I got exclusive access for this. I believe they were $210, which the original was $125 back then. The 2000, I believe it's 2003, was $135, so it went up $10. But they did not release this colorway in 2003. They released the low version of this. They did come out with the Bugs Bunny, or the white and red Air Jordan 8, and yeah, we wouldn't see this colorway until 2007, and then again in 2013, and it primarily had a gray midsole. On the original, it's more like the retro, so you'll see like a little bit more of the lighter or darker midsole with a little bit of the glitter effect, just like we saw on the last Aquas. So this is pretty much how they were, how it looked like back in the day. Let me go ahead and bring you back up there so you can get a top-down look of what the shoes look like in detail. Alright guys, so before we talk about the shoes, let's talk about the boxes. Here's your retro from 2023. Here's your original from 1993. As you can see, smaller box, bigger box. You see the Nike Air branding on the corner of the original. Nothing on the retro. Here's your box label for the original. Style number is 130169 and color code is 060. This is the black, and true red. So these originally released in April of 1993 at a retail price of $125. This right here is your retro box, and the style number is 305381, color code 062, black, true red, and white. These will retail for $210 and will release on September 30th of 2023. So just to show you the inside, that's the original, and here's the retro. The OG box is lined with this inner sleeve of cardboard. Comes with the thicker black tissue paper as opposed to the thinner version on retros, and that's what the inside of the box looks like. Alright, so the purposes of the comparison here, we really want to see how close Jordan Brand can get to between a retro and an original. 30 years apart. It's pretty wild. It's pretty crazy. So you can already see a lot of differences here. The first one that really jumps out at me is the upper material. On the original, you see that there is a white edge all along all of the panels of the shoe. Something that's missing on the retro. Now, I'm not sure why they didn't add that. That's always a key ingredient when you try and get as close to the original as possible. What I do appreciate, though, is that they made the midsole a little bit darker. So you got a little bit of that glitter effect on the retro, whereas on the original you can see it's pretty much disintegrated. However, there was glitter on it back in the day, so I do feel like that is a true representation from a retro to an original. You'll see here that from the outsole, the red is a little bit brighter as opposed to the original, which is a little darker. Both true red, but if you look at the boxes, true red in 2023 is color code is 062, and back in 1993 the color code for true red was 060. So some of those things I always, pretty much pay attention to when it comes to like differences in colors and materials. You can also see here, moving along to the toe, the brighter color of the blue versus the original, which is a little darker. Now, due to age, you can see here that there's yellowing on this outer portion that holds the graphic. Jordan Brand tried to mimic that and recreate it on a retro. Nicer look, nice bright white, red and black colors. What I do like is that they extended it past that stitch line on this piece, and it's also probably true on the other side. Yep, you can see there. So that's just one little detail that I like, that they kind of continued past that stitch line, but it's a little thinner as compared to the original. You can see it's a thicker outer edge painting there. The materials overall, they try to mimic the look of this leather within, with that cracked look. I think they did a pretty decent job. It's a little bit lighter than the overall look of the overlays, which is, the nubuck, and that feels pretty similar to one another. It just says inner portions, they differ. But I do like, it is a soft feel, just like it is on the original. So I do appreciate that they tried to get it as close as they could here. Checking out the outsole. I think they did a fair job. Despite the colors, I think they did a fair job. It's hard to see the graphic on the original, only because, it's pretty much disintegrating. And this is how the graphic looks on the bottom of the retro. Jumpman's a little bit darker on the OG, brighter on the retro. Moving to the back, the rear, the red pull tab. You can see on the original, it's a little lighter, whereas on the retro, it's a little darker. You can also see here on the original that this Achilles portion right here, you got it dipping a little bit more than it is on the retro. So it's still a true to size fit to me. I wear size 10. These are both a size 10. It's just, the difference there. I'm not sure if it'll make a difference to you. I feel like I can slip my foot easier. I'm not going to do it because this shoe would probably fall apart on the original as opposed to the retro. They also have a wider loop on the original as opposed to the retro, which is a little smaller. That's dependent on, I suppose, the height of the stitch, where you can see it on the retro. They have stitch work like just below, whereas there is none on here. It goes down deeper in. The graphics on the tongue, pretty cool. I always appreciate that. They went all the way in and down under the tongue, which I appreciated. They moved the original tag that used to be on the back side of the tongue to the side of the shoe on the retro. So you can see it's right there on the lining. Nike Air branded insoles, black insoles, white Nike branding, same as it is on the original. The chenille tongue patch. Here we go on the OG. You can see how it fills up the patch all throughout. Jumpman's decent, kind of hidden within. Now when you get to the retro, you can see that they try to show a little bit more of the Jumpman, and then the outskirts of the circle, it's not as filled in as it is on the retro. The 23s on both, I feel, are similar, so they did a good job there. You can see moving down to the tongue right here at the vamp. It's a little skinnier on the retro versus the OG. However, if you look at the shape of the toe on the retro, it's a little bit sleeker, which I appreciate more because it's a more dynamic fit. Whereas on the original, it's got a little bit more of a bulbous toe. The straps on the side, here's the retro with the Air Jordan. The wording there is a little bit more raised than it is on the original. And then just the last bit here, the graphic on the inside. Here's your original, and here's your retro. So like I said, overall I feel like they did a great job with the sneaker. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think. Alright, that's the review. Thank you guys for tuning in, coming back to the channel. I really appreciate you guys for tuning in. This is the comparison of the Air Jordan 8 Playoff So if you guys like the video, thumbs it up. I got some other things going on too, so you can follow my socials. I primarily post on Instagram, so if you guys follow me there, you have an account, you know, interact, say what's up. And that would be it. I'm not sure when my next video will be. I pretty much just now do this just to whatever. But if you guys really want me to start posting regularly, I mean, put down your requests, I guess. I did pick up a lot of sneakers this year. Just haven't really been posting on YouTube. So, but anyways, thanks for tuning in. I'll catch you guys later. Take care.